Welcome to Bringing the Band Back Together podcast, the podcast for tech nerds behind the scenes. We're talking audio, video, lighting, acoustics, system design, integration, and manufacturing. All the brains and hands that make live shows and permanent installs come to life. Whether you're an engineer, a rigging junkie, a DSP wizard, or just AV curious, this is your lane. I'm on this journey too, and we're learning from the people that are actually doing it. Real stories, real careers, real gear talk. Tap in, geek out, and maybe find your place in this crazy world of pro AV.
You know, it's different for everyone because the journey is different. So depending on the set, sometimes you have to switch. You're just moving, but you got to flow. You know, and for me, I like to prepare, and so for me, if we're going to set everything up, let's do it right and prepare it. I think we went through all of our tests, but still, obviously, there were still some things that we had to check off, and that's okay. You know, it's like either I have something or you have something, but we both are focused on something to make sure that it gets executed correctly.
Well, hey, let's start the show.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Bringing the Band Back Together, and as you've been hearing, I have my good friend Jesus Vivar. He is the CEO, the president, the king of Mixed Theory Studios here in downtown Jacksonville, Florida. You and your wife moved here in 2021 from New York. What were you doing in New York before you started this venture?
Well, first off, thank you for that amazing introduction.
Oh,
Jennifer.
thanks.
And it's an honor to be here on your show. Well, I'm going to just get right into it. She and I met at one of the venues that I was DJing at in the Meatpacking District. And I've been a DJ for over 25 years. I think close to 30 now. I stopped counting. But I've been in the music and media industry for a while. And so she and I moved. We jumped around after we got married and had our kid, our son, Giano. And we ended up moving to Wichita, Kansas. We were out there for about 8.5 years, and there was an opportunity that she was pursuing, and so we were there for a bit. The journey brought us back here to the East Coast, and New York was an option. She's from Pittsburgh, that was the second option, and Jacksonville was the third. So Jacksonville, Florida, to us, we have family here as well. And we figured, you know, maybe this is an opportunity for us to have a different change of life, a different experience for us. So we also were looking at investment opportunities. And so I think we kind of married and merged both when we found the idea for Mixed Theory Studios. And really that was something that I've always had a passion for and always wanted to do. I kind of wanted to start it off as a DJ school at first. But as it progressed in my life, I really learned a lot of variety of things, and my experiences have brought me some great opportunities. And I figured, you know what, why not try to blend all those things together? And between Shannon, our chief engineer, Rashawn, aka Punch Boy, we kind of said, you know what if this concept would come together where we could do a variety of things in media, put all our experiences together, and really kind of bring something that can help develop artists, businesses, and expand not just on music, but how do you take content and repurpose it, and how do you expand and really kind of grow your brand. So
What's amazing about what you and Shannon offer is more than just a recording facility. I see you guys as my business partners. Actually, my best friend and I, Travis and I, after doing some business helping you and your wife put this place together in a sense of logistically getting gear and stuff, especially during a time of COVID when there wasn't a lot of supplies and the demand was very high. And it feels great to have a mutual partnership because I care about you and your business just as much as you care about mine. And Travis and I still have a podcast, the Collective Perspective podcast. I'll put the link on the screen here, but that's been an honor. But what Shannon and you have brought to us was to bring my dream alive, for one, and to start this new career for myself. So you and Shannon not only deliver the music capabilities and stuff like that in the recording, but also the business sense behind it, like, why are you doing all this in the first place? Part of what we're going to talk about today is their story and more about what they do on individual level between each of the studios. But also we're going to talk about the HIT Act and how the HIT Act is going to impact your studio, Jesus and Shannon's studio, and any independent artist out there that is trying to produce some type of content. They say music, but sure, you can make music with that too. So when you guys moved here, what did you have? Was there some type of like opportunity that you saw that was different than these other cities other than the weather?
When we got here to Jacksonville, before we even came here, we just saw the history here. There's a lot of history in music and movies and film industry, and it kind of reminded me of New York a little bit because we were surrounded by all these bridges in the water, and the opportunity to be down here downtown really drew me from the love of music, the love of film and media, and the history, the rich history behind it, because there's a lot of amazing talent here. And I figured if I'm going to do something to the vision of New York, here I'm gonna have to do it the way I remember it. And so this space gave us the opportunity to kind of expand on it. And yes, we work with music, we have a recording studio, we have a vocal booth, but we also have other suites that kind of we can design based on what we need to record and elements of that. But Shannon brings a different piece of that, and she has a rich background in corporate America and working with billion-dollar companies, and the experience that she brings here and the way we designed this company, we wanted to make sure that we didn't just stay in one lane. We were able to expand and really cover a variety of things. And our team consists of a lot of different designers and editors, and just amazing talent that are here within the city that we're working with, including people throughout the U.S. as well. So that was one of the reasons we came here to Jacksonville, was to kind of bring that vision to life the way we really wanted to, and this was the place for us.
What type of services? Most recording studios just record, mix, maybe master. I honestly don't believe that one person can do all three of those in theory, and then the psyche, the brain doesn't work that way to be able to punch out a mastered thing all in one day. But what different services do you guys provide here besides just recording services?
So mixing and master, when it comes to just the music side, that's one of the things we do. We also create original music. So if an artist or a business is looking for an original track or original soundtrack that we're trying to make for a business or a brand, then we can create that in-house. We do all that in-house. We also work with a lot of great talents out here with vocal coaching. Miss Michelita Taylor is one of our main actual vocal coach, and she's actually Miss Black Jacksonville, Florida as well.
Oh, cool.
So the combination of the team consists of one part of it, but we also do audiobooks. We record in our facilities. We've done novels, we've done different kinds of work with voiceovers and animations. And that expands over to also wellness music and also 3D, Atmos design, sound design that we work with on different projects as well. It kind of expands from there. It continues, right? So now we're working with placements. We do placements as well for different commercials and animations and video games and movies and such, as well as recording podcasts. So if we're doing podcasts and we're recording in our suites, we can also design the brand. We can design a new show, a new track, a new logo for it. We do all that from scratch, and there's strategy behind that. So that's where Shannon will come in, and she's really the person that would lead that part of it. We also do video recording, so we work with a lot of videographers as well. We work with a lot of freelancers and talent that we like to work with, that we bring together on a team and really expand on that sense as well. When it comes to businesses online with AI and all the different technologies that we have, we also expand on that as well, because we can help create an AI automated system that kind of ties everything together within your business, whether it's accounting, or it's taking calls or sending messages or emails, marketing campaigns, scheduling for social media, all that brand design, that's all part of the same package that we create. So we don't just, the music is just one element, and then there's so many other elements that we tie together. And when it comes to the music side for artists, we were talking about, you mentioned hits act, that we would be talking about something of that nature as well. When it comes to the artist, it's not just so you come in and record and then you're done. We take the time to really understand what music you're working with, that what you're trying to create. We sit down with the artist even beforehand. You don't just come in and just say, hey, I'm going to come in to record. You schedule with us. We want to make sure that, it aligns. We align with you and you align with us, because we're trying to make sure that we give you the best that we have. We'll help you get there as well. So it's not just come in and record and we mix and master the track. We also give you an opportunity to learn, to be part of this community, but also expand on your brand and do it professionally, do it as a business, because that's what this is. We work with professionals. We work with people that see this as an investment. This is not a cost. This is an investment. And if you're going to do something, you got to do it right. Do your research. And so we're here to make sure that we educate people as well.
In previous episodes with Ernie Lansford, I alluded to a lot of that. That partnership is what you're talking about. So as a customer, and it's kind of the customer's discretion when you become their partner. But when your customer starts to feel like you have an interest in their business and their well-being, that's where that bond is created. So Travis and I came in with a podcast idea. We still publish through MTS Jax today. Today we posted a video, audio, podcast on Apple, and we're on Spotify, and what's the Amazon one? Whatever Amazon is.
Amazon.
No, it's called something else.
It's called Prime. I should know this, but that's, again, because we have so many variety of things. Audible.
It's called Audible.
Then you should just say Audible.
Well, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, I see you and Shannon as family and friends, and that's the great thing about what you bring, is not just those services, but the intangible things.
Thank you.
And it's very important in this type of business to have partners like you and Shannon.
We love you, Jeff, and we care.
We love you too, man.
We care about you. We care about everyone that comes in here. We don't see it as a way to just say, how do we just make money, and how do we just? We're not like that. For us, it's an investment. We understand that people are trying to do different things with their brand or their company, and we want to make sure that we help them and we guide them to be part of just a team. We a community where we come on as a team member. We don't come on as, hey, what do you need us to do, and we'll do it. It's really understanding what you're trying to do. And you understood us when we came into the space, and I said, hey, this is what I want to design here. This is what equipment I need, what do you think about this? And you were able to really guide me and recommend a variety of different products, things that I was looking at. And you say, hey, have you looked at this? And so you've been amazing, and you've been a big, addition to our team, to our community, really, to our family. So thank you and GC as well, for helping out in their studio.
We actually teamed up with the podcast camp that's coming up at the end of the month, July 31st, at WJCT in Jacksonville, and we've sponsored it, Guitar Center Pro. I guess now it's time to talk about maybe what everybody wants to hear is more about this HIT Act. The great thing about the HIT Act so I was maybe kind of dumb at first. I thought, oh man, if you spend $150,000, you're going to get $150,000 back. That was a dreamer, maybe just stupid. It sounds logical to me, but the government's not going to give you all the money you spent back. But so what I realized is that the money that you spend is up to, if I pay $7,000 in taxes and I say, hey, I got this, then I'm basically not paying any taxes. So when people say only the rich don't pay taxes, that ain't true anymore, right? And that's just up to this year, where before it used to be only film and stuff like that was able to do it, but that opens a whole new door for your business, doesn't it, and your clients?
I think it creates an opportunity for a lot of people. Yes, for the business as well, but for the artists, it's an opportunity for people, and the artists now have the same, rights that everyone else did in the industry, the film industry as well. The bigger players, if you want to say, artists would write off their taxes, but they would have to do it, in multiple years. They wouldn't be able to do it within the same year, which is what this HIT Act will do.
Right.
It'll up to $150,000. So if you go in now, if you let's just say you spent $50,000 this year just on music videos or something, and you go in, you can now write that whole thing off, where before you had to break it up into multiple years, and big studios and all these different companies haven't had to do that. They could do it within the incurred year.
Especially when a lot of us are working 1099 and you're not paying taxes, so you got to put taxes aside. So now it's more like, instead of putting that money aside, you should go buy gear from me. Buy gear from me, and then it's all complete tax write-off, and you don't have to worry about the taxes you would owe. I think that's what's really special about it, is that, hey man, those taxes you've been putting away in your bank because you don't want to pay taxes, you want to have it when it's ready, no more. You don't need to worry about it anymore. You need to buy gear though, so hit me up. My phone number's right there. We'll put a plug in for you too, but
it's all good.
How does it benefit? I try to make it entertaining.
I know.
You got to have some type of comic
Of course.
every...
No, I mean, look, it's an opportunity for for the artist to say, you know what, I'm going to actually, and you should. I think you should think about this always as an investment.
Mm-hmm.
You want the best, right? You want the best that you can get, and if you're trying to build a team to help you get there, then now you don't have to be like, well, how do I get all this money to do this? You're going to get some of that back for the most part. There is, now that you're able to, deduct up to $150,000, that's a lot of money for, some of these independent artists that are trying to, even producers and technicians, people that are working, in this industry, that have maybe a small studio set up or a media, all these different independent artists can now come, and we can all create, and that creates more work. That means you can invest more. So you save that up when you get that return, and you reinvest that back into your music. And so that helps a lot. I think the accountants will be happy too. Now they can just do it all in 1 year. They don't have to do it in multiple years for independent artists as well. So
I did want to give a shout out to the legislators that made this happen. Believe it or not, it was a bipartisan effort, which is amazing, because that does not happen. That's very rare. I wish it was more that way, and maybe it will be in the future. But give it a shout out to Republican, Rep. Linda Sanchez, Ron Estes, Senators Feinstein and Blackburn. Thank you so much. This opens the door for so many people that have this. People like you and I. This is our living. We have other jobs. I have 4. I'm sure you have more than. Well, you're a DJ, you're a business owner. So we all have multiple jobs, eggs in different baskets, per se.
Yeah. And it's we're in a point now where it's kind of a stimulus for the, for that economy, for our economy as well, because that helps really kind of speed things up. It gives you an opportunity to reinvest. Like I said, if you get some money back, or you're saving up on taxes, you don't have to break it up into years now like you used to. And for those artists that are just coming in, or trying to really develop their brand and really get out there as an independent artist, there's a lot of things to learn, and one of those things is to really take this as a serious business, because you have to pay those taxes. Start thinking in that sense. There's so many ways to save money and make money at the same time.
What I think is amazing about this bill is that it's fair to everyone all the way up to a certain amount, right? Can you imagine having to pay $150,000 in taxes a year? What your income is? Mm-hmm. That's pretty substantial amount of money. And to be able to say, hey, well, I'm a music artist and I created this album, or, it's the beginner that, I don't know, works at McDonald's, and that $3,000 that they take from his paycheck every year is now stuff that he can pretty much put in the bank. I think you can pretty much go to the bank and go, look, and kind of show proof with the HIT Act, right? and try to get a loan
if you
and say,
if
hey,
you-
look, by next year, this is going to be paid off. So,
Yeah, I mean, if you start off, you start off right, and you start to say, "This is my brand, this is my business," which you
Right.
should as an independent person, even if it's just as a single.
well, even 1099 without a business license, EIN, all that stuff,
Yeah,
you could
as
still.
long as you're submitting it and you're saying, "Hey, this is the list of equipment or things that I've spent," and it doesn't just stop at just equipment. You know, the services, maybe some programs that you've been buying, software. If you're doing like music videos, sometimes there's things like lunch and all these different things that add up to it, right? So all that can be a write-off. All of that can be a write-off up to that amount, that $150,000 amount.
And again, it only covers the taxes that you are paying for the year. So, for example, if you're paying, I think earlier I said $6,000 in taxes, and you spent $6,000 in gear, well, now you're even Steven. The money that you paid the government, you'll be getting back $6,000. Right?
As a scenario, that's
Yeah,
one way to do it.
that's one small scenario.
That's one scenario.
That's the
There's
small.
many different ways to see that.
We're not licensed CPAs.
I'm not an accountant to get, and
Yeah,
I'm not giving
licensed
out
accountant.
anybody
I'm not getting any advice.
no advice. But I
read
will-
the bill for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
What I would say is
I'll put the link right
educate
there.
yourself.
Maybe I'll put it right there. I
You
don't
have
know.
to educate yourself. That's what it comes down to. And
Knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah, and like any business, this is a business. The music industry, you know, the film, it's all a business. And if you come in treating it as a business and becoming a business, or at least saying this is part of, because that's the thing is that there are creators that are not business people, and I get that, you know. But that's one of the reasons why we started the studio. It's because we want to educate, we want to help people that are not, they don't have that, but we're that team to help people do that as well. So.
And there's a fine line because a lot of us just see this as art, and we'd be doing it anyway, right? But being that, hey, we're getting paid to do it, and people are buying it, then you know it legitimizes everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, I think we're living in some time, and with technology and how things are going, you know, it's even easier now for people to actually get into music, creating music, you know, that's a whole nother subject that I won't get into right now, but it's just even software for DJing, you know, it continues to expand. There's so many ways to really learn it, where before when I was learning it, I was learning on turntables, there's no technology.
I know. I was saying
That
I
was
learned
it.
I learned to mix in the late 1990s in Spain with 2 Technique turntables and vinyl. There was no push this button. You could see the waveform. and
Yeah, there was none of that.
It was so crazy. Now I don't DJ at all, but I would imagine I would just blow it up. I would, you know, DJing isn't just about mixing the songs together. It's what you create, the experience for the audience is more important, and if the audience is engaged. Now, I wasn't the type that I took requests, not at all. Actually, I think at one time I said, leave me alone, I'm mixing, no requests. But there are DJs out there that do that. So
I'm on either side. It depends.
Yeah.
For me, it depends where it is, what it is.
So what's next for you and Mix Theory Studios?
That's a great question. We continue to delve into the AI side of it, but also creation, and how do we merge those two together, and really looking ahead in the technologies and even just wearables, you know, like the meta glasses and the technology that goes behind that, and software. And it's just a variety of different ways. For me, on the DJ side, I've been doing it for a long time, and been trying to kind of fade out of it, but I keep getting drawn back. And to be honest with you, I love doing it. But the studio really is what I've been focused on lately, and helping other businesses and our partners that we've been working with to help develop their brand as well. I just hope to continue to do that and to expand on that as well with some of the 3D audio that we're creating as well for softwares and for programs and for games. And I eat it up. You know, we continue to do all these different projects, and I think that's what's ahead of us. That's what we're trying to lead to.
So I think as a individual artist that doesn't have the capabilities or the knowledge to record your own gear, going with Mix Theory Studios in Jacksonville, Florida is the ticket, because just primarily based on the fact that you'll get an invoice that you can prove to the government to submit, and have some, you know, some leeway, some actual documentation that you did spend this money versus just handing some guy some cash, which I'm
Yeah.
sure there's some studios in Jacksonville that just do that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're paying through, a Cash App or something, at least there's some sort of recording there. But that's
Well, there's
true.
that too.
And I appreciate that. Whether you're in Jacksonville or you're watching this video in California, it doesn't matter. We can help. There's so many different things that we do now that are remote. We work with some Hollywood studios, and we do a lot of that stuff remotely. They tap in. We have a producer. We have all that set up with the different screens and stuff, and then the act can actually listen to the producer and see the producer on the other line, and they're remote somewhere else. So their technology now allows us to do something like that. So if you're an artist somewhere and you're like, hey, I recorded this track or I recorded this vocal, but I need a track for it, we can still do that. You don't need to be in Jacksonville for us to do that. We can definitely help you out. So thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, man. I want to thank you for watching this episode, being part of this episode, whoever I'm talking to, Jesus, whoever's in this audience. This was meant to be informative. It's meant to highlight Jesus and his company, Mixed Theory Studios. This is one example of the type of job that you can find in the audio industry, or lighting or video, if you want to add those two in there. The entertainment industry is such a huge, vast thing. A lot of us have some college education behind us too, but do you take on interns at all?
We worked with some interns before, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on the scenario, and sometimes we're project-based, so a lot of different projects come on, and so we're always trying to expand on our team and kind of bring the community together as well. So
Being flexible is important, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And we definitely appreciate you being in the community and providing the type of work and the level of service that you and your wife provide. And we're glad to have you, stole you from New York. You're not going back.
Thank you.
I wouldn't. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, please put them in the comments below. And please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. You have anything else to say?
No, thank you, Jeff. That's
Yeah.
all I need to say to you is thank you for the opportunity, and I'm glad that we're still moving ahead to see us from so many years where we
Yeah.
started to where
Can
we
you
are
imagine
now.
where we're at now?
To where we are
Where we're
now.
gonna
I
be?
think it's a blessing, so thank you.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace out.